a 5D perspective in comparison to 3D confusion or antagonistics. In the 5D, we realize that when a person comes at us angry or upset or different political views, no matter what that person is coming at us with, that is ourself. That is you trying to get attention to you, another part of you. So in 5D, we listen to every single point of view because that's us, just waiting to be heard. Once we change our minds, we enter the 5D. You're invited to Spiritual Quest. How to become a 5D in perceptions and understanding things. The path is to find someone who has a strong experience on how they've gotten to where they are. And we listen to them tell their story. And if you can get someone who has a strong point of view from one side, and then get another person who has a strong opposing view, and you listen to them tell their stories. And when they tell their stories, you hear their story. You listen to their story. You reflect their story. You magnify their story. You validate their story. And if you do that with every single person that you ever meet and you get to know, you will very rapidly reach a 5D perspective on any subject that you investigate. The thing that keeps us stuck in the 3D is arguing with what we hear, challenging what we hear. If we just listen and be open to everything, all the information that you need to reach 5D is there. Because they're only words, and these words are attached to spiritual energies that give you the ability to collect these energies by the narratives from all those who share. And they fill your head, and they fill your thinking, and they fulfill your perceptions of a 5D. The Spiritual Quest. This is a call out, a casting call for all those star seeds, for all those spiritual gurus, for all those enlightened beings, for all those who have all their answers in life. Those who are no longer searching or looking, they've found the answers and they're trying to share them. I would like to be able to interview you, to know your story, to know the way you see the world and how it works for you, so that that story can be shared with others. And I'd like to do that for every person out there who has the answers and add them to the Spiritual Quest podcast. Interested? Message me. To have 5D communication in conversations, it's important to allow one person to completely lay out a thought, a complete thought that may take a minute to 3. Allow the person to put their concepts on the table fully. Don't resist what's being heard. Allow it to be spoken and allow it to sink in. Once that step is completed, it's your turn to add your contribution to the conversation. And you imagine that the conversation is an entity being built in front of you, each contributing to a construct that is being manifested by the contributions of both in the conversation. As you add additional contributors to the conversation, this edifice grows and grows. And if we're all doing it with high intentions for progress and honesty and truth. That's the spiritual ladder that brings you to the top of the world, the spiritual quest. Perceptions around caring for one another. In 3D, we take care of ourselves. It's all about our self-esteem. It's all about our validation. It's all about our healing. In 5D perception, we don't think about ourselves ever, because that's a default. We put all of our conscious thoughts on others to help everybody realize that they're amazing, that they're cared for, that they're loved. And we wash everybody with love. We wash everybody with light, with caring and with kindness and with joy and with happiness and with song and with dance. And we make everybody feel wonderful as we interact with them, so that they glow. And if we all put forth our efforts towards helping everybody else glow to their brightest, the 5D perception is going to metastasize rapidly, and it's going to spread across this planet in such a fast way. And from that higher degree of pure light and love, we can put our smartest minds and our best technologies towards doing what's best for the collective, for all of us, for the whole of us. 5D perception, the spiritual quest. What if we all got together and created a 5D perspective around success and life and achievements? And if we could do it without money, just what would that look like? That each person say what they would like to accomplish if they had freedom to do it. Every person pursues their best ideas and they share them with one another, and we decide what we want to do. Then we decide we like projects, so we all start funding them together. We all start working together towards creating a whole new reality, a 5D perspective. We don't have to be stuck in our money system. We can rethink it. We can recreate it. A spiritual quest. How to acquire 5D perception. Notice when you're watching a TV show, or listening to the news, or listening to friends argue. Notice how words and the topic of conversation can affect your inner feelings. Any words that are outside of your body, coming through your ears and resonating in your soul, are spiritual energies. Those spiritual energies are nothing more than a vibrational frequency. So we find the vibrational frequencies that make us feel good. We don't need the vibrational frequencies that make us feel bad. So we don't have to argue, we don't have to debate, we don't have to defeat, we don't have to silence. We just have to be open and allow all of those spiritual energies to be around you, but don't allow them to affect you. That's 5D, the spiritual quest. In 5D communications, as human beings, we're way more than a computer. We're way more than an information source or an AI. As humans, we can feel one another. So when you have a friend who shares information with you that you disagree with, that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's a spiritual energy arising within you. If you were to ask them, how does that make them feel? And why do they feel that way? You as a fellow human being can resonate with their energies, and you can try to feel where they're coming from, and you can sense their understanding, so that simultaneously you're coming to a higher degree of perception. That's 5D. Are you at 5D? Upgrade your programming. The Spiritual Quest. Understanding your 5D connection to the world. Whenever we find ourselves in a new place, perhaps it's a park, a walk in the woods, by the ocean, we'll notice the scents in the air, the sounds in the air, the feel of the ground under our feet. All of these sensations are spiritual energies flowing through your body, which you can interpret and understand. They make you one with yourself. You know when you're balanced. Spiritually, in our relationship with one another, these same signals are constantly being received. And we have a choice when dealing with others. We can take these spiritual energies that we feel in our stomach or in our heart or in our mind or in our thoughts, none of which are physical. Those are all spiritual signals and spiritual indicators describing and defining who and where you are in relationship to the space that you're in. And no matter what we experience in these situations, it's all there. And we, in 5D, get to interpret it. And so we can decide if our life is wonderful or if our life is miserable. Because the spiritual energies are going to be the same. The situation is the situation. The way we deal with it, that's our choice. That's 5D perception, the spiritual quest. In 5D perception, you realize that you are always right. Whatever you're thinking about at night, lying in bed looking at the ceiling, or early in the morning as you rise, preparing for your day, if you feel victimized, if you feel taken advantage of, if you feel unappreciated, any of those spiritual sensations are the way you define your reality. In 5D, we realize that everything that's happening to us in life is happening, and it is what it is. And all of the interpretations that are added to our reality are spiritual voodoo. They don't really have any control over us other than the control that we allow it to take, overpowering our spiritual center and core of being whole and connected. You can be right in your suffering, or you can be right in your healing. A 5D perspective, the spiritual quest. A 5D analogy to help you understand 5D perspective. Your life is a pair of shoes. Are you happy with your life? Are you happy in the shoes that you're wearing? If we went into our closet and pulled out our most comfortable shoes, the shoes that we naturally flow with. They're probably more worn out, used more often. They may not be the best looking, but they're you. You're you in those shoes. That's wholeness in you. You want to have that relationship with your life. No matter what your life looks like to those on the outside looking at you, looking in, that's irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant is you and how content you are in your life, how content and comfortable you are in your shoes. And if there's discomfort, that's something you can fix. That's something only you can fix. Because there's not a circumstance that changes who you are on the inside. Only you are in control of you. 5D Perspective, the spiritual quest.